Oh, I love this picture. It's a spiral, because if you look at the human body, you realize that it's a wave, it's a twisting wave from top to bottom. It's doing this, okay? It's doing this, okay? And that's what it looks like. It's a wave, and it's congruent most of the time until the people come in that come into our office. They're not congruent, you know? And what I mean by congruent is there's a nice flowing pattern. Somebody goes off and it just comes up and it turns a little bit. Everything's just nice and flowing. But what about these people? You see them on their x-rays. Their whole low back is buckled down, twisting down, all stuff like this, right? They're not integrated. They're not congruent, okay? So that's really what I envision is our forces is to be entering the spiral staircase at the top and to be allowing that force to go down and go through that wave that is locking. I mean, this is a locking wave, right? It's not doing it in pieces and parts. This is just not the way the human body is. There's one thing here. It's not an eyeball. It's a nervous system. That's all that's here. Everything else is under the hood to try to keep the nervous system going. That's it. The heart is not the king. People think the heart's the king. The nervous system rules it all. It's all there to slave of the nervous system to have the experience. That's all it is. Okay, so the nervous system is locking. Okay, so it locks in a spiral, and the story is very simple that we see. We see a story every time somebody stands up. We see a story of their trauma. We see a story of their compensation, and we see a story of their ability to do the best they can. It's called its energy value. Okay. So we're going to do the best we can with this, guys. I'm just going to put that there. How's that? Is that okay? I can't get all of them, but
looks great.
Okay, but we'll try to help you out. Okay, so Dr. Yoshi is presenting with 22, 24, 25, 26 pounds on the right-hand side. And I suggest you do this while I'm talking. Everybody should be standing up there and look at him and just see what I'm measuring. See it before I even measure it. Just look at him, start from the bottom, look at the post underneath, start from the bottom, look down here, you see where his legs are, you look where he's turning, you see him, you see the flow of it, you see the flow, then you see the twisting of the shoulders and the pelvis. You look down and you look and you still look and you see the legs are off center because this center little line right in the middle there, he's got that triangle right there and it's off center. Everybody see it, right? Okay, so he's presenting right now with 14, 15 pounds on the right. Just relax, Yoshi. Thank you, because he's getting all stressed out now. There he goes. So now he went out to 21. Okay, see how? Okay, so which way is his weakness? To the right or the left? To the right. Okay, so what is having trouble holding him up? What side? The left. Okay, his legs. It's so easy to see that. Okay, his legs with the laser. What happened? Here we go. The legs with the laser is at 24 millimeters off vertical. 15 is severe. Okay? This is a 0 point right here. Right there. I'll bring it up. And look at his shoulder. Look at where it is in his shoulder. It's almost touching his left ear. He's off a bit, right? Yep. Yeah, just a bit. Okay. He needs some pants that fit him. That's about it. They're a little. He's got to put some weight on. He's got to come over to Rita's cooking for a couple of weeks and get him all hooked up. Too much seaweed, not enough food. Right? Okay, so he's posterior 8 in the pelvis. He's an anterior 3 in the shoulder. Is that good? That's bad because we know, because we're chiropractors and we know that, come on in. Yeah. So we know as chiropractors that biomechanically the pelvis and the shoulders move together. That's part of joke, by the way. I'm being sarcastic, but okay. But that's the way it's supposed to work. So now I got two problems. I've got a system that it's like you're closing a door and the body is counter twisting. Okay. I mean, it's like the door is counter twisting. The top of it's going one direction and the bottom's going another direction. It's counter twist. It's not. So how do you get a force from up there to make both of those release? Difficult, right? It's like if you're playing pool, I got to shoot two balls in the hole, going in opposite direction. That makes it more difficult than the nice linear shot. All right. So Yoshi's leaning out to the right side, 24, 25 millimeters down below. He's got a 21 right now, 19 on top. So what's his compensation doing? Yes, one of them is millimeters and the other one is weight, but just call them the same units. It's easy to understand. If he is 20 off in the legs and he's 25 off on the legs and he's recovering to a 20, how is that compensation? Is it nice and strong? No, it's weak, right? He's not able to pull himself up. So if his legs are at 25 and his compensation's at 20, that tells you everything about his nervous system right there. That relationship between the legs and the weight. It tells me whether the nervous system is able to do its job. Okay. And you could say, well, the muscles are weak. Yeah, but it's the nervous system in the end that's running all of it. Nothing else. Just everything is run through the nervous system. All right. So he's got an A and a P here. And if you look at him from the front, he's got a right shoulder. He's got a right neck. The neck is tilting to the right. And I'm going to tell you that what I notice, and this is not in stone. We're talking about, first of all, everything that I say is not in stone. Because we're talking about a human body, but I'm telling you about patterns that I see and okay, and that may change, but I'm telling you patterns that I see. I see that the neck, when it's anterior, when it's tilting on to one side, it's anterior. The neck is anterior, twist forward. Okay, I see that on X-ray and I see it on the posture IQ. That's the way I see it. Okay, these are hard to measure. Okay. Shoulders and pelvis are easy to measure. The neck is hard to measure. The head is hard to measure. The neck in particular is most hard. And then what is the atlas doing in there as well? So if a neck is anterior, what's the atlas usually? If the head is anterior, where's the atlas? These are questions that I'm looking at on film to try to see patterns. Okay, because it would be nice that we can make an assessment that's really strong from the outside of how to access and vector down through the atlas and release that whole spiral out. Yes? Sounds like I'm so excited. Where are you guys? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So what are we going to do here? So what are we going to do? He's got a lot of right stuff. He's on the right. His legs are on the right. Seems like everything right? So he has a beautiful access point though. And where is that? Where's he got an access point? C7. Well, I'm going to tell you it's right C1 because his ears are almost level, aren't they? And look how much he's tilting here. So he's basically got a left tilting head. Right. Everything's right except the head is left.
Sure.
And I'm not going to say the head's left, but it's balanced.
But the left hip looks low.
I don't think so. Anyway, we're going to call them all rights. So he has what's called a bend point. And a bend point is where there is an intersection between the head and the neck. It's the vertical axis. Okay. And if you can hear this, there's a vertical axis line in the body that is the head, the neck, and the spine. And that is a vertical axis. And in that area are bend points, meaning where they can bend. They can bend from the spine to the neck, and they can go opposite directions. You got a spine going right, and you got a neck going left. That's a C7 bend point. That's where it bends. Okay. If you have a neck that goes right and a head that goes left, then you have a bend point at C1. Okay. So the convexity are opportunities and doorways into the body that allow us to expand the body. Just like Dr. Sid said, hit them on the high side. There's 100% truth to that. Okay. And what he meant by the high side, whatever he meant, I don't know, but I'm going to say is when we have that convexity and we can go through that. And we have two abilities to have that, C1 and C7. So those are the two areas that I look through to for the most. You can see his neck just really twisting. His shoulder is posterior here, and his neck is really twisting. Okay, so anyway, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to come on in his room right here. I'm going to adjust him right side up only. He's got no reason for me to adjust him on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to ask is to you guys at least try to give me as much space as possible, okay, just energetically. And we'll get Dr. Yoshi, see what he does, okay? And then we'll be done. What time is it?
20 at 12.
20 to 12. I've only been talking 40 minutes.
Sounds, it seems like more.
It does. It's at least 2 hours. Come on down. It's lunch. Well, lunch is at 1, sorry. Okay, so the human body, when it gets older, call it because of gravity, but I call it because of the nervous system is locking down because it's scared. Everybody's collapsing and locking down and inward. So we need to expand that. That's really like an important Tensegrity concept. That's, to me, is the only thing that's important about Tensegrity about this whole conversation. Not that it's this or it's that and it's that and the joints don't touch and we understand that we got a cool model and all this kind of stuff. The fact that the human body it breaks down. And where is it really Tensegrity? Because Tensegrity means expansion, right? So where is it that can we expand? Can we expand in the head? No, it's a hard surface. You know, it's skin and bone. It's this area, really, not even the neck so much, but here to here, it all can inflate. This is the balloon. This is the thing that we need to affect. Because the legs themselves, they go this way or that way, but they don't really break down. You got bones there. They just can't break down, okay? The joints can diminish, but the joints you got 24 here. There's a lot more joints here than just, you know, what, you got 1, 2, 3, you know, feet, you know. I know there's plenty of joints in the foot, but I don't think they have, you know, shock absorbing. They're all put together in a different way.
Hey,
Anyway.
Russ,
Yeah.
can you put the angle like just a little bit lower just so we could see his head? Perfect. Thanks, man.
You want me to bring you a latte?
IPA, please.
Okay, so the whole idea, Tensegrity, is get it into a Tensegrity position. And what I like to do is I like to feel it lock. A lot of people feel like you're going to push them off the table, but you just get it to lock and breathe in this position. Yoshi, bend your knees. See, people have to be able to relax and lock. See that right there? Right, that spot right there. It's this, and then I just kind of set it into a little bit forward posture. Okay, because it's this that has to happen, not this. Okay, so Yoshi has, oh, okay, we'll do that. Because Yoshi's neck is going anterior on the right-hand side, I'm going to adjust him right anterior here, and I'm going to adjust him right anterior at C7. Why? Because one of either the pelvis or the shoulder was anterior, but it's also posterior. So I'll also go into another access of posterior into the lower neck because to access two spirals, so to speak, to access those. Okay.
Shoulder was anterior.
Okay, it doesn't matter to me. Okay. So that being said, the next conversation is how do I access anterior and how do I access posterior? Okay, because I want to stretch it out, right? So if somebody's shoulder was rotating forward, I hope you guys can see my hand. You would push it back to take it as far as it can go and then adjust it from there, right? Fair enough, right? So that's the idea of what I do. So putting the person in extension in their neck is an anterior component right here, right there. Okay, he has a bend point right there. So I'm bringing it up and I'm blocking all the joints here so I can get all the energy to flow through the osseous system. Is to come right down through here, is to lock him here, up. So I'm coming right in through here. So I'm accessing that door right through there. I'm bending him down And then I'm locking them into extension and I'm feeling where that lock is. And it's right. I want to feel it right there. Feel that, Yosh? That's the lock. Okay. And then what I would do, take about a couple minutes to get myself together. So you got to collect yourself. And then you forget about everything else that you're supposed to do. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to get me connected. And also at the same time, I'm looking for Yoshi's lock. And then I'm going to go down into it. And I'm checking. I'm at C6 right now. I'm just checking everything that he's got. He doesn't have a lot here. But I'm going, oh, I feel all this tension. And where it's really what I'm looking for is all the way down through the body. And I'm shifting my body because there's different pathways. So you feel that, Yoshi, right there? I'm literally at C7, posterior vectoring I to S. And it's a matter of just finding any tension that you have and where you have it. You just keep moving around until you find the place. And once you find that place, you will just start breaking it up and start overcoming some of the stress. Okay. Yoshi, bring your chin down.
Can you show how you're posterior and accessing posterior in the front?
Yeah, we're going to do that in the class. Okay. Yeah, I know, because that's important for you. And I'll show you what to do. It's simple. Okay. So he has some posteriority. So I'm going to posterior, but I'm going to lock C7. So anybody, I want somebody just come over here, just quickly feel that spot right there.
Rock.
Right here, right here, right there. Touch that right there. Yeah, right? Feel that. Right? It's right where this is meat back here. That's a spine joint locking. Okay. It's hot. And that's the line for me. Okay. So that's what I'm going to go after right there, because something's locking down. And my job is to unlock. Okay. It's that simple. Is to try to give the nervous system a little bit of ability to reset itself. So I'm going to bring him down and in and lock that point. And I'm going to come into it. Feel that, Yosh? So I usually have to adjust Joshi twice. So I want you to look at my body, my back, step in, my whole body. Watch my butt and my arms. They're behind me. My arms are all the way down here. This is where your power is. All the way down on the bottom. And not out here. They're here. And I work to get to that place where right now, it's nice and easy just going through it. There it goes. Look at the form going down. You feel them just let go? Lift your chin up one more time. So I'm checking the anterior on this side one more time. Remember, there are two pathways. And I'm going to check Atlas. Just going to go clear everything down C2 to C7. Okay. All right. Well, again, I threw it past. Gave you a courtesy. We're right into the details. Tomorrow like this. Let's go see what we did.
Using your legs for that?
Oh,
Your arms.
Picasso, baby, Picasso.
nope, he's still right. Come again.
Okay, actually stay there.
Yeah, he usually takes me twice to adjust it. We'll pop all the way up. Okay. We're gonna go one more time. Yoshi, go right side up, anterior. All the way up.
When you do that, I just gotta go back and set it again. I win. Gotta get it set.
Are you attacking something different this second time, or are you just going
No,
back
I
in?
just didn't get enough of that. You know, it's the thing that's different that it's not golf. I don't care how many shots you need, you just get it where you need to get it and as fast as you can. So it usually takes me 2 shots, sometimes more. So when I invited him up, I knew I was asking for trouble. I wanted to show you trouble, yeah. It's not so simple. Let's go.
Pop yet, Yosh?
Yes, right.
Okay. Bingo. There you go. Now look at that.
Look at that.
Right?
Thank you.
Yoshi, $50 later. I got it for you, he last time was 25. He's gone up now. You see a difference, but he's open. He's not on center. He's open. Right. And the important thing of this is that this area right here is really the area that's breaking down. Okay. It's like a tire that loses air and and it's multiple holes in it. So our goal, that looks good. Everybody like that, right?
Why'd you approach the left side instead of the right side?
Huh?
Why'd you approach the left instead of the right?
I didn't approach the left.
Oh, he was on.
He's always right side up. Right side up. He was locking down on the right and he had a bend point on the right.
That's ridiculous. That was before.
Yeah, so let's just take a look at the laser. Hey, could you bring that around for me? So now the laser is everything. His leg is on the right. Everything's on everything's on the left. Everything's over. Here's this point right here. Look at this. Bingo. Yeah, that's good, right? Good. Yeah, that's nice, man. If we could do that,
Russ.
man, it'd be crazy.
Russ,
Yeah.
that looked like Freddie Freeman's grand slam against your Yankees. Good job.
Okay. All right. So come on up. Let's talk a little bit about posture, and then we're going to say goodbye to our friends in TV land. So I hope that was the purpose of that was for you to hear everything that I'm going to say in more detail. How'd that work out? Got some information? You see a kind of an overview? Yes? Was it good? Yeah. Good. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. We're going to run back to the posture IQ at the end of this. Everybody's going to get measured, and we're going to just call it a morning. Are there any questions right now?
Is there any, I know what we're saying by experience, any issue with saying the right side, left side would do, or in fact, usually left side would bring the right side up?
No. So here's the question. Brad says, could you adjust them on the left side and bring the right side up? And the answer is yes, that you can do that. Okay. I mean, that could happen because the human body is, I mean, you can push on different things and make different things happen, right? That's different. It's not It's not what we call a rigid body. It's not a brick, right? So it's not like here I throw you a brick, I throw you a baseball. It has hinges. That's really what the joints are. They're all hinges all over the place. A couple hundred hinges. So did you guys get a book?
No.
Please put your name in it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry, guys. Okay, put your name in it, please. All right. So,
About your hinges,
yeah, I forgot where I was.
and we do the right side.
Oh, okay, I'm back to, yeah, your question. Sorry. So, so the answer to the question is, yes, it's possible, but it's not the best way to take care of it in a mechanical advantage from up here. Okay, but to understand that concept is huge. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Just let's bring that up in some of the placement and the adjustment.
How
Okay?
you know it is what you did, and see what you did and what happened.
Listen, sometimes if I would adjust Yoshi and I kept adjusting him on the right side, he wouldn't come up. I would turn him over and adjust him on the left.
Okay.
But not for the reason that the left would bring him up,
Okay.
but something is kinked down there and I can't get, it's buckling over and I can't do it. So I'm going to push it out and then I'm going to bring it up. You know, that can manifest. So I'm not saying that actually happens. I don't know, but I have to try to justify something in my mind
Well, it's
at
a
this
thought
point.
process. For me, it's a thought process of knowing
Right.
how to think about it.
Yeah, but I would never start that way. The only way that I would have adjusted Yoshi on the left first is if his spine was on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that because that is something that's I see much more specifically.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyway, this is a listing. It's evolved over time, so it shows everything, but it shows everything kind of like in an odd way, a little bit, you know. But you know, like anything else, I'm used to it, so I just see it easily. Okay, and there are this first letter and number is the way that the leg tilts. Okay, and it tilts in a way that there's a triangle here, and if you put the laser on 0 and you shift, you can see where the patient is standing off 0 by just putting the laser there. You don't need a number, but you could just see where 0 point is. Okay, and if it moves and the laser is on the left leg, you know, it means I'm shifting to the right. It's on 0, and then I can move her over and I measure it. That's generally what I do. Is I keep it on 0 because I just want to see the flow of the body first. I don't usually care about the numbers right away. I just want to just get the flow for a second. That's why I look at people in the front. I like looking at them in the front, and I like watching. I come out of the room, I come out in here, and I look at people, and I watch the way that they flow. And you just can see it. And then you go look at the numbers, then you measure the numbers, and you start bottom up. Start with the legs, okay? And I put the weight on it. All right, so I got a right 24 and a right 5 and a left 24. And I touch the pelvis. Pelvis is good to touch in the front, not in the back. It's not best in the back. So to me, it's inaccurate from the back. It's accurate, much more accurate from the front. That's what I notice. And hopefully that'll be helpful for you if you do it. Okay, because if you're not taking an X-ray, you don't know. And sometimes we just had somebody yesterday. Allie writes down right pelvis. I'm putting down left pelvis. Okay. And I went and looked at it, and it's so close, but Allie was right. Yeah, she was. Yeah. So it was so close. It was less than a half a millimeter off. So Allie's got the touch. Okay. So I got these numbers, and then I started looking at these two numbers and these three numbers. It's kind of like the middle group and the head is okay. I know where the legs are going. I know which side the weight's on. I know which side the weight's on. Now I'm looking at the kind of the configuration. And I kind of look at the rotation. Got me? Just kind of get a feel for what's going on. And if you do that, you're going to start seeing patterns over and over and over. And that's really kind of like a Mod 3 concept, is to step out of the numbers and start seeing not seeing more than the numbers. Okay, it's not the numbers. It's more than the numbers. Okay, The numbers validate what you see. You know? Yeah. Okay. So you start seeing a flow pattern. These letters right here in the middle are the rotations. Okay. Bottom up, pelvis, shoulder, neck. All right. So those are the rotations. And this is the stuff that's over the past year that has really evolved. The rotations is coming in at a specific rotation with a specific headpiece placement for that rotation with a specific torque flow angle. Inferior, superior, clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay, to release the whole flock. Okay, from posterior anterior. That's what we'll spend time on tomorrow. Okay, questions on this? You all know this, or you know a lot of this. So this is what it looks like. You know, measure bottom up, legs, weight, rotations, configuration. From the front, see the flow, see the access. Look at the head and the neck. Look at the neck and the spine, because those are your doorways. Okay, I mean, if where would you adjust? Where do you see a place to that there's a bend in my body? At what vertebra? C7, right? Right, C7. You can see it. So my spine is going left, okay, and my neck and head are going to the right. Hopefully you can see it kind of that way, okay? Fair enough? Right, left, right? So that place right there is the perfect access point to release that. From an engineering, from a visual point of view, something's like this, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna do this, or are you gonna do that? You put it like this and you push into it, they're probably not coming back too many times. You know, you do this and you open. Okay, that's the idea of opening. So these convexities at C1 or C7 are big doorways for us. And you'll start looking at people and just go, and then you see them do this. And you go, oh, there it is right there. Okay, inflate that balloon right up and open. Okay, all right. So this is nice, and you just start looking at it, and then you see the pattern, you see the flow, you see the symptoms are matching up with the strain and tension that's on the body, and guess what? You're living like a king. Okay, so we'll do that in just a moment. Oops. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, what time we got?
After by 12:04.
12:04, perfect. Okay, so again, this is a little. We're talking about things like earth, you know, a lot of concepts too, which is we're just talking about some philosophy, but the door is open for any conversation through all this. I'm not starting from the beginning. Okay, so the damage happens, and this is language. Okay, so this stuff that I'm giving you is just for you to just have some parameters. If somebody said to you that my kid has 110 fever, you would go, that's a freaking problem, right? Fair? Somebody said to you, my heart rate's at 22. So we have numbers that we know and we could identify with, okay? So I give you this, all this stuff we're about to do right now really doesn't have much to do with the adjustment. It's more about understanding the human body and posture, okay? Fair? Okay. All right, so the legs go off. 1 to 3 is pretty healthy. I used to say 0 is perfect because the legs are like tires on your car. They're not the spine. See, the spine's like it's a spring, you know, it's all over the place. It can do anything, any direction. The legs are not made to do that. Your legs are made to do this. Forward, pretty much. Okay? Not even backward. Not to the side. It's not made to do that. Okay? So they're made to go forward. 0 is just like your tires. Your body can handle so much. 0 to 3 didn't seem too much. 3 to 10 becomes moderate. 15 becomes severe. Okay? So that means for somebody to be 15 millimeters or more out, they've had a lot of damage here. Okay? And I call the bottom just because, and to have conversation with you, I call this the trauma. This is what I call trauma. The legs are the trauma, always. It doesn't mean that they're the only trauma, but they definitely have been traumatized if they're off vertical like that. If your tire was like this, you'd go, there's been some trauma. Simple, okay? Fair? Okay. So that being said, why is this measurement important? Okay, why do you think the legs are important?
Basic support.
It is the base of support, number one. Why else is it important? Meaning it's the foundation, right? It's where everything else is going to sit on. What else is it important for? Andrew,
Biggest muscles have what can hold the most tension.
say that again.
They have the biggest muscles, they can hold the most tension.
They are strong and they should do their job, which leads me to another question. Why is that important? Because if they've been damaged, why is that important?
They also have to pick up the slack.
That's right. And is that a positive for the body or a negative for the body?
Short-term positive, long-term negative.
Correct. Yeah, short-term positive because you don't fall over, right? Yeah, you know, like a tree, you just fall over. So something else has to pick up, which is the question that I'm asking is why is that measurement important? Because the more the legs go off center, the more energy has to be used by the body. Okay, and that really is the primary thing of everything. That really is it. It's not about. I mean, that's really what to me a subluxation means. Its definition is the stress on the demand of the nervous system of the body. Okay, and posture is the largest demand on the human body, especially when it's all vertical. Certainly bigger than your heart, your lungs. This, I mean, it's just I'm going off on this rampage, but it's just the way it is. I mean, it's huge, but it's not about the bone out of place. It's about, to me, the energy demand that's placed upon the body. Okay, because that is where the health aspect comes in. That's where when you eat grapes and you eat this and you eat the quality food, organic food. I'm a vegetarian. I eat some fish. Whatever, it doesn't. You know what I do. I'm not nuts, but I'm a little nuts. Okay, so that being said, these are less stressors for my body. You exercise. Somebody that drinks versus doesn't drink, smokes that doesn't smoke. Somebody that exercises. There's active and not active stuff. Okay, that all goes into the demand on the nervous system. Okay, and our purpose in our office, for me, is to change the postural demand and another one, the mental demand. Those are the two. All right, that's what I work on. It's just the way I'm made, to do that. Do I talk to people about exercise, nutrition? Of course I do. But those are the two aspects: the mind, the posture. Number one and number two, right there. The mind being number one. Okay, but in the end, it's an energy demand. All right. So the weight should always recover to something around 0 to 3 pounds on the strong side. So if my legs go off to the right, my body should come up to the left, 0 to 3 pounds. Simple. I'd like to see it on the strong side. All right. Rotation should be coplanar. I said it over there. Dr. Yoshi had anterior, posterior, shoulder, pelvis. They should be coplanar. Biomechanically incorrect. It gave me a concept because I saw that is that I should come in with both vectors. Okay. And after I checked him on the first go, he had only anteriors, by the way. So I forgot to mention that. So he went from an anterior posterior, I adjusted, and the posterior released. The anterior didn't release, and maybe the posterior has to release so then I can get that force all the way down through. And that's why I always have to adjust in that second time. And you saw the difference. So he went, whoop, bing, just like it usually goes, whoa, Did you have a whoa today? All right. Big rotations, bigger than 15. So legs and rotations, 15s are large numbers. Big demands by the body. And the rotation is the leg to weight relationship. This leg and weight relationship is really a crucial piece that I use in understanding how the nervous system is holding up the human body. Okay, the rotations measure how much exertion are on the body. So where the leg and the weight measure success. Oh, I'm successful. I brought myself up to 0. My legs went off 20, and I have the power to bring myself up to 0. I'm carrying a 50. I give you a 50-pound suitcase. You're carrying it the whole way. No problem, like this. So all of a sudden, your body starts going, I can't carry it. That's the weight change. Side to side, it's getting weaker, 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 weaker. Can't pull itself up. And the rotations measure the stress, the exertion. So the bigger the exertion, these are energy values, the rotation and the leg to weight. They're energy values on the CNS, on the nervous system. Okay. So I think that's cool. Okay. Does that help you in the adjustment? Oh, he has a 5 rotation. Oh, he has a 20 rotation. Doesn't change anything for me. I just gotta go through it. You know, I don't care about that. So that's what I'm saying. The numbers, they give you understanding of what's going on. You understand the flow, you see the patterns that we're going to see, and you understand the stress that's on them. And you start having just a deeper understanding. And what that does is, to me, it builds up confidence in what we do and peace in what we do, that you become the master when you walk inside in your own heart and you can go ahead and adjust. And you're just, that's where your flow is down too, right? If you're in the right space, for sure. You know, because, you know, it's intent. It's a lot of intent. Okay, so there is a relationship that is normal, that I see is fundamentally normal between the body and understanding how to help it. And that is that the legs go one way and the hips go another way. So as your legs go left, my legs go left, my right hip drops down. As my legs go forward, my pelvis drops backwards, goes into extension. It's very simple. It is the balancing mechanism for the body. And that's going to be really important, okay? Because it's a normal balancing mechanism for the body. It's normal when we have trauma. So when we see a pattern where the legs go off and then this all comes up together, pelvis all the way up, it's a nice normal pattern. We go, hey, not too much damage here. Looks like it's doing this, it's doing that. And we start seeing the severity of the problem, okay? So, and it's very important in the adjustment, okay? And this is the piece that I'll tell you, and this is why upper cervical, another reason why upper cervical works is because if the legs are damaged and the legs are trauma, that's what I call them, trauma, okay, that's where the trauma is, and this is the compensation, pelvis up, and they should oppose each other, then when I do this to my head, what should happen? The legs should move in the opposite direction. So it's not just about the legs, but from up here, I can control the legs and get them underneath me. So that's a huge piece of understanding that when we adjust the compensation on the side of the compensation and do that maybe first, that you have an ability to bring the person up and not even have, you can have somebody that's all the way over here and they're doing this, and you go like this, and they come out like that. Why? I tell people it's because I put the ice cream in the cone and now you're able to pull it up the center. Got it? That kind of concept. But it's supposed to work that way. Because when I bend my head down, my hips go this way. When I push my hips that way, my compensation goes that way. It's made to work that way. It's just you put your car in gut forward, it goes forward. It doesn't go backward. That's what it's made to do. And it's those kind of things that have been helpful for me, right? So when I saw that, I was like, how did that, man, that popped somebody right up. That person was 30 pounds off on the right-hand side. I adjusted them on the left. They just went to 5 and 5. The legs went in halfway, 3/4 of the way, all the way. And now they have, instead of 30 pounds, they have 5, 6 pounds. Why is that? How does that happen? So that's my justification for that, because that's what it's made to do. Okay. All right. Type 1 pattern is where the leg and the pelvis are not opposite each other. That means there's a problem. And it's a problem down below, usually in the knee. You got a knee, you got an ankle. The ankle does not subluxate or damage nearly as much more stable joint than the knee. The knee, that middle, it's like C5 on a neck. You know, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking, right? So it's a big joint, a lot of stress. And I know, because I have a knee problem, you know, since a very long time, for forever, you know, and my shoulders and my pelvis have had to pick up the slack and lock. So all of a sudden, when you lock the mechanism for the body to move in this way, then all of a sudden these things have become the flexors of the body and the flexible piece of the body, which is problematic. It's not supposed to be that way, you know? So you just start understanding what's going on with people and the trauma that they're having. You see so many women that have frozen shoulder problems compared to guys because they're built like this and guys are built like that. So we have damage down below, and the shoulders got to be, you know, like next tier up. They're holding everybody up. That's why everybody has all these problems up here, because they're holding themselves up with their face and their eyeballs, you know? So the more problematic the configuration is, the bigger the twist, or it's out of pattern, the bigger the problems for us. And our job is to figure out, when you have people that have multiple traumas through that, which piece do you have to take care of first to get it underneath you, okay? And I'm going to tell you, it's the spine. That's what I see primarily, okay? That is huge. When in doubt, but the spine integrated with the pelvis. Okay, we'll talk about that some more. Okay, all right, so here's a relationship, nervous system and energy. Too much, just right, too little, okay, and some rotations. All right, so here's a little cheat sheet right here, or a little exercise right here. Look at the pattern. Tell me if it's an over, tell me if it's an under, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'll do the first one with you. The legs went off right 3. So what should the compensation do? It should go left 3, bring you up to 0. How do I know if it's 0? I look at the weight. The weight says I'm at left 12. So it went off right 3, and instead of going to 0, it went to left 12. Is that too much, too little, or just right? Very simple. It's so simple to look at that relationship. It is the key relationship you will look at, okay, in understanding the energy of the body. Okay, so the rotations are PPA. All right, so are they small? They're between 0 and 3. Yeah, so they're not exerting too much. So they're just within normal limits. I'm just trying to get you to look at things. Oh, I noticed that. I noticed that. This helps you not a lot. Some of this doesn't help you in the adjustment. It helps you with just being a better doctor. In my
Explain
opinion.
again what the A is for those next to the
Which A?
little A.
That A?
Yeah.
That's the neck. Pelvis, shoulder, neck.
Should that all be coplanar?
No. So I don't know if I have. Oh, here. We're getting to that. Here we go. Yeah. So the neck and the head should be coplanar. The neck and the head should be coplanar. See? Okay. Neck and head should be coplanar. And you can feel where it swivels when you do that, right? The head and neck move together. It's very hard to keep your neck there and just turn your head. Can't do that. Okay. But it's very easy to turn the head and neck without moving your shoulder and spine.
Right.
You could also do this, same thing. Okay. So the shoulder and pelvis should move together, and the neck and head should oppose. Yeah. That's why. So this, you'll see this like we saw on Yoshi. He had, well, that you didn't see on Yoshi, but say somebody does this, posterior lariat on pelvis and shoulder, and you'll see somebody's head and neck do this. Anterior, swing around. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so just go click a couple of these guys and just tell me over, under. Okay. Take a quick peek. You got 2 minutes. This is just trying to get some people caught up.
Like half of you.
Not half.
Remind me what.
How you guys doing out there?
It's over.
How you guys doing out there? Anybody still there?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So an over is this is an over. Is where the legs are on the right, and it doesn't bring it up to like a left 0 to 3. It's on the strong side. Right 3, left 0 to 3, left 12, way over. Yeah, it's using. I tell people you're using a cannonball for a fly swatter. Okay, which is most nervous systems are overs, and if they do it long enough, they burn out and they become unders. Okay, and an under would be this next one here, is where the legs are off 12 and it's only able to bring it up halfway the compensation, so to speak. So easy to see it. I got it. One of them's millimeters, the other one's pounds, but at the same time, it's easy to just see it in like a non-unit. It's so simple, and it's so easy for your patients to see it that way. You know, somebody comes in to 35 pounds off, and they're 28 pounds off vertical. That nervous system is ready to crash. It's got nothing left. Yeah, and then you see them all twisted and bending. It's every muscle is being recruited, and they can't understand why they go to the doctor and they're taking 12 drugs. Because all the alarms are going off through the whole body. Yeah. So look at, we're not here to make pencils, guys. Right? We're not here to make them straight. We're here to reverse the breakdown to hopefully a supportive state that they could hold for some period of time and come back and get another adjustment. Okay? Because they have holes in the tire. We all do. It's just what happens. Okay? And some people have many holes. And that's the chase with some patients is like, I have difficult patients, and it takes me, they have these weird patterns. They're patterns that have been broken down more. They're out of pattern patterns. You know what I mean? Which your patterns are broken down already. So you got a normal pattern that's broken down in multiple different places, and and you got to figure out what the person needs. So you have to go through understanding of what you want to do. Okay. So go ahead and do that. You got it? Yeah. Okay, good. This is an over, this is an under, this is just right, and this is kind of an under.
And exertion is on the
But this is another little pattern we'll talk about in a second. Yeah.
exertion on the shoulder and pelvis, is that gonna be the number on
Well, I was just like, is one of them exerting more than the other or
based
whatever,
on the numbers of the rotations?
Huh?
Based on the numbers.
This is so the shoulder, the exertion, is it normal here? Yes. Is the pelvis normal
Yes.
here? Yes. Is it normal here? Yes. 2, 2. Is it normal here? No. Okay, so shoulder is 12. Excuse me, pelvis is 12. Okay, so you can put that pelvis is here. Okay, is the configuration normal? APA. No, it's not. It's counter twisting between pelvis and shoulder. That's the way that works. Okay, hold on. This is kind of an under. This is a problem. Okay. This configuration with this is a problem. This configuration right here is going off center. It's recovering. It's small, but where's it doing all the work?
Pelvis.
In the pelvis, right? So somebody will say to you, my back's bothering you. So what's your job? Is to reduce that 12 down and get a little more center and take the strain off. It's coming off, but this is what it's doing. And what you want to do is just, hey, just kick it down a little bit, girl. Okay, that's it. That's what you want. Okay, so this again, it's just understanding it. So you're still going to go in the same vector, but you're going to feel for it. You can try to get a good hook right into that anterior rotation, man. That's going to be your vector line. And you're going to set it, you're going to feel it because you understand that that's the piece that's hanging them up.
Do the rotations correlate with your line of drive?
Yeah, the rotations
Yeah.
are a function of the line of drive. They're the transverse plane into the spiral.
So an anterior shoulder would be release A to P here.
Correct. Yeah, at C7. And if it had a posterior pelvis on that side, you adjust both rotations. Yeah. Okay. So again, you're going to hear this stuff all weekend. There's going to be a point, I think you said this like 5 times, and I'm going to be going over it tomorrow. And I already told you about today because you can't remember it all. So I just keep hammering the same story. Okay. I can't even remember it all because when I'm doing stuff, I'm missing that step. I can feel it. Don't be lazy, Russell. Get freaking let's sit down on that thing. All right. What else do we want to look at here? Not a correct configuration. The neck should be opposing. Not a correct configuration. These two should be together, and then that should be opposing. Okay. A correct configuration, but high exertion. Okay. When you see small numbers with big rotations, I'm going to tell you I have somebody that's in a big compression. Someone that's not just sitting out here and bending and twisting, they're compressing down. Part of the damage has been downward, And again, that doesn't change anything in the adjustment. Well, it does a little bit, understand. We'll get to that. Okay.
Oh, I have a question before you.
Yeah.
So I saw objectively that last one, you said it was under, and I understand that, but from a healthy standpoint, it's a 1 and 2. So why is it not balanced?
I got to talk about it, right? Because it's not on the strong side. That's for sure. Listen, first of all, what we are discussing right now, it's minutia. Okay, this is a compressed misalignment that needs to pop out. All right, that I care about. Okay, and it's going to go somewhere. I don't know where it's going to go, but I want those numbers to increase, all of them. I want it to shoot out somewhere. It may go left, it may go right. It's not an important conversation. It's what I see within the numbers here on this one. It's most important. And how
So it's showing up like that because of the compression of what you just
Yeah.
said.
So it's kind of like this. That's 1, 2. 1, 2. Who cares? 1, 2. I want a 1, 2 with a 0, 0. And then when I touch them, it's all smooth in there. Right? Okay. Groovy. Okay. So symptoms are related to fascia. And Dr. Sid used to say, no symptom, no symptom, no symptom, no symptom. We're not symptom based, not symptom based, not symptom based. Can't say it enough. Okay. But the real fact is we're not, okay? And that's okay because it doesn't tell us what we do, but it is part of the story for 2 reasons. It's part of the story because, like I said, if somebody has a brick in this hand, you want to see that this muscle's hurting, not this one. Fair? So when you look at patterns, you want somebody to say, my shoulder is bothering me over here, my back is bothering over here, and I get these headaches right here. Because I know where those lines and those tension is and that tissue, and I want to see that I understand it better. So the more I understand it, the more better I understand it, I think I'm making a better decision on what I have to do. It's so simple. Okay. So symptoms help with that. Just like the symptom of you need air in your tire and the light goes on and says you need air in your tire. It's very helpful, isn't it? Right? Because if you keep driving on it, it's a problem. Right? So the indicators and the symptoms are super helpful. You want to see them. And sometimes people are so confusing that you just go after the symptom because you don't know what to do first. They're just all wound up. Okay. So you got to start somewhere. That's odd, but it does happen. All right. So symptoms are areas of fascial tearing and fatigue, fascial tension. Okay. So you want to see the side where somebody is hurting is that they're in tension. Tension. So there's two sides to the coin. Okay. There is compression and tension, short and long. Tension is usually 90 plus % of the time, okay, on the side of tension. All right. The symptom should be in tension with the PL, with the posture listing. So you should be able to look at the posture listing, and I could tell you if you say, well, this person's getting headaches, this person's getting TM, this person's getting low back problems, this person's getting sciatica, this person has a knee problem, this person has this person has, whatever it is, okay? Musculoskeletal, neurologic stuff, that's what we see, okay? Chronic. Some other stuff, TBI and various things, but that's probably much similar wheelhouse in most places, okay? So you become the genie of somebody. I'll tell you a short story. I needed, Rita wanted to get a safe for the house. So I go on Facebook Marketplace, find a safe, go to this guy's house. We're driving in, he's like 45 minutes away. And he's walking in front of me through this beautiful, oh, how you doing? Come on in. Hey, you want me to pay you now or tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
Okay.
because I got one more tomorrow.
Okay, fine. You got it. Thank you. Go to his house. Long story short, he bends down to do for the safe and turns around. I said, and how long has your knee been a problem and that neck that's, is killing you over there? He says, how do you know? I said, because I'm a chiropractor. That's what I do. He's a patient here. His wife is now a patient here. Just from me knowing that he was having trouble there, I just see it. He says, how do you know it? I said, because I see it. You can just see it where people are having trouble. It's so simple. Okay. And it's not 100%. Okay. But it is pretty, you could be if you need to, you could on a Saturday make some extra money in the corner. Okay. All right. So look at these things here and try to figure out where their tension is. Okay. So let's do the first one. Okay. So it's got a right 5 in the leg and everything else is leaning over and it's an over. It doesn't come to 0, it goes to left 12. So which QL is in tension? Right side. So simple. Okay, do the rest. Some of them are not easy, and I'm not saying I have a right answer for them because it could be, some of them are just to get you to think that it's not perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Settle that up. Any extra book for it? Go to mommy. You know I'm taking.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Okay. Here we go. A little faster than we need to be. Mod 3. Okay, so sciatica. Anybody you want me to walk you through? You want me to do them, or you want to do them? Okay, I'll do them if you don't want to talk. Okay, so I'll tell you what I see. So what I see is a left 12 with a right 13. The sciatica is probably going to be on the left-hand side. Okay? If it is, kind of muscular neurologic, if it's disc, and the person's older, it could be on the other side, right? Because there's compression on that other side. So what happens first if you're carrying a suitcase? Does it get heavy, or do you get joint disease? Do you need, no, you get joint, it's heavy first, right? Muscles fatigue out before the joint does. That's the way it goes. So that's why tension bothers us first within the fascial system, because it's micro tearing. So we see that first. If you see people later on, this person could have sciatica down the other side, okay? Because of that bending right there. All right, so I just leave that out there for you. This one right here, same kind of idea. This one's left 12, and then the top is left 20. I'm telling you that most of the time it's going to be over here on this right side because it's in tension. Fair enough? Yes, sir, John.
If your pelvis is left, it's left, and then everything's square, right?
This one,
Three.
number 3.
Because if your pelvis and weight's left, and then
Yeah, so it's
right,
doing this.
that's gonna go on the outside of the left.
That's true.
You're not gonna get as much like IT back in your arm, so it's like right.
That's possible. Yeah, it depends on how much that thing is bending, right? Like if it's just small and it's just doing this, or is it doing this, right?
It's fine.
Right. So, yeah. But in a leg perspective, sciatica down here, if the sciatica is coming down from piriformis down, it's going to be on the right side. If it's maybe coming from L5 lumbars, okay, it could be maybe on the other side, like you said, because it's tilting. Right?
Yeah, no, I see both of them.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Okay. I do see it the way I'm telling you more than the way I see it the other way, but I do see it the other way. That's why I brought it up. Okay. Because otherwise it's, what's going on here.
I just wanted to make sure.
No problem. Okay. Number 4 is interesting. It's a type 1. So what happens with this picture is it buckles in the knee. See it? This is it right here. And then this. So we're looking at the knees. So both knees could be a problem. The right knee on the outside that's trying to hold this thing up over here could be a problem outside on the right side of the knee. Okay. But the inside of the left knee is a problem. This is my misalignment for the most part. And it's the inside of my left knee because it is doing this. It's valgus like that, breaking down like this. So all this tissue is tearing in here on the medial meniscus and medial aspect of my knee. Hence why I have this huge bone right there on the body trying to concrete it down. Okay. This one right here is an over. Okay. And it's interesting because it's right 12 with a left 8. Okay. And which shoulder is you going to think is going to bother them?
Say left side.
So I'm saying it's the other side.
Saying it's right side.
I'm saying it's the right side because it goes right 12. This shoulder is doing work. Okay, but this shoulder is being pulled on and it's yanking, it's in tension.
But then the head and the neck are going back to the right, so.
I got that. Yeah. So here's the conversation with that. If it's lower down into the shoulder, okay, it's going to be on the right side. However, it could be if it's neck and trap more that people will call shoulder, then it could be on that left side because its head's bending back. So you get this tension, now that tension. See the difference? Yeah. Listen, I spend important time on trying to see that. Okay, because otherwise there's tough complications in the body.
I'm asking them what's going
So you'll start looking at it. You'll see what you see. You'll report back. Okay. All right. Last one. Headache.
Right side.
Right side. Right here. Okay. Okay. Don't fade on me yet. Oh, we're done. Let's sleep. All right. Any questions? You guys out there, any questions? Okay. Thanks for joining me. I will see a couple of you after lunch at what time?
1 to 2, maybe?
1 to 2, we'll be starting right at 2. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, food's out. Allie, it's all set? Go for it.